Okay.
Welcome back to another Writer's Spotlight. I'm King Loki, the editor of Deathwish Poetry Magazine. With me is Dustin Ekman, one of our awesome, brilliant writers. He's a poet, short story writer, and a novelist, incidentally. He writes incredibly beautiful poetry. His stories are dark and morbid and sexy. And he's also based in Canada. How are you doing, Dustin?
Good. Good, man. And now that we got the technology figured out, I'm even better.
Hopefully. Let's
Yeah.
hope. We'll pray to Technus, that guy from oh wait, no, that was Danny Phantom. Whatever. We'll pray to that guy from P-Man.
How about we pray to Geordie LaForge?
Jordy LaForge, yeah. LeVar Burton will
Yeah.
get this sorted out for us. Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah.
So, how long have you been writing?
Um, my whole life, I I discovered art young. Like I was 3, and I was tracing stuff and drawing stuff, and actually, you know when you have like weird core memory.
Yeah.
I have one from like that young. I was complimented on my tracing abilities. And instead of saying thank you, because I was like 3, I don't fucking know, I said, I know. And I got in trouble for it. So I learned right there, when people compliment you, say thank you.
You say thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
People like to feel like they're doing their good deed, don't they?
Always.
I appreciate that you don't make a distinction between writing and other forms of art because it's all art. It's all important.
It is. It's whether, like, I have cried listening to music. I've cried at the Edmonton Art Gallery.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even remember what painting it was, but like it was huge. It was like the size of a fucking wall, and
Yeah.
it was gorgeous. It was like peasant women in a field. Like it was just a slice of life type painting, and it was just done so gorgeously. And yeah, and I've cried to books. Like it's art. It moves.
I agree. Couldn't agree more. There's a paint. Speaking of which, there's a painting at the Philadelphia Art Museum that I love to just sit in front of. It's a huge black canvas with a massive purple splotch on it, and they have a little bench right in front of it just so you can sit and stare into that purple void. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been listening to a lot of Sleep Token lately, and it's been a while since I've had an emotional experience with music. Put it that way. Tell us about your books, because I understand that you haven't just written. You're not, this one, the sweep that you're working on. That's not your first book by any means.
Actually, it is.
It is.
It is. It's my first self-published work. The first thing I got published is actually just a short story,
Okay.
and that's in the the Books of Horror community on
Mm-hmm.
Facebook.
Okay.
They did their community anthology a few years ago. I want to say it was 2021.
Hmm.
It was during the plague, basically, and it was my friend Steve basically told me about the opportunity, and he was like, "Hey, why don't you just email RJ, see how that goes?" So I emailed RJ, and he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
So that relit the fire under my ass because it was starting to just simmer down. And now I'm always like every day I'm writing, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
But the sweep took me a little bit more than a year.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wrote it and I was like, yeah, okay, let's slowly work on it. And I think what I'm publishing, it would technically be the 5th or 6th version of that novella.
Yeah.
And it's, yeah.
Yeah. Editing is a hard thing to do. I mean, have you found that like workshopping was useful, or do you just keep rewriting it?
I just keep rewriting it. Some of the stuff that I changed from the version you read
Mm-hmm.
to what's about to be published, because you got like the beta read
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
Some of that's been changed. Actually, a lot of that's been changed. Some of
Mm-hmm.
it's been added to because like just looking at the uh, feedback from some of the beta readers, they're like, "Hey, this part kind of just weird." So I went into it and I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's actually just bad writing, Dustin. What are you doing? And I went and fixed it, and then I was like, okay, I'm happy with this. Let's get a cover, and I got a cover, and now it's I'm just finishing off a couple small. Actually, I'm not even finishing off a couple small things. The lady who's doing my cover
Yeah.
is finishing off a couple small things, and then we're just going to upload it to Amazon, and then bam, ready to go.
Awesome. Amazing. How did you? I mean, obviously, I self-publish as well. I use Amazon. I also use Drift Digital because they distribute it, all over the place. How did you approach your self-publishing venture? Because obviously, this is the first time you've done it on your own, right?
Yeah. Um, Basically, it's just reading what my other fellow authors are doing on Instagram and whatever, and like, okay, so you go through this place, you go through this place, check out a couple of those places. I've got the book ready on Ingram.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it's almost ready for Amazon. I'm just going to go with those two for now.
Sure.
Because I'm still learning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just basically figured out how to get the books there, and then getting it there. Because for a while, I was considering just contacting you or my friend Steve and being like, "How do I do this?"
Yeah, absolutely.
Then I figured it out myself.
Yeah, that's the best way to do things. Honestly, just ask people. People are pretty nice and will generally just tell you. But yeah, learning how to do things is a big part of being an independent writer. I find, especially when it comes to like formatting, because people charge a lot for that, and it's something you really can do yourself.
Well, before I did any of my own, I actually ended up formatting a pair of poetry books by a guy who, in the end, we're actually not going to name or mention further because he was arrested for being a criminal.
Like a real criminal, or like
like
drugs?
A sex criminal.
Oh, well, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Moving along.
So I learned how to do that with InDesign, and that was a pain in the dick. I did not like that.
Yeah.
And then I found out, Reedsy?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I used for the novella, and it's okay. But I'm still going to look into other ways to format books now, and
yeah,
I just want to get better at everything that I do.
Well, I mean, a lot of what we do is just practicing and trying harder the next time. I mean, I've gotten really good at wrestling Word and making it do what I want because there's so many of these fucking specialized programs, and to me, it's just like, I mean, how many ways are there to shoot a bunny? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Many. Surprisingly, yeah, but yeah, so that's pretty cool. I find that very interesting. I find other people's process very, very fascinating because, like, frankly, there's, as far as I know, outside of like, I don't know, seducing like someone at a major publishing company, there's no magic bullet, to being successful at this. And at the end of the day, I mean, I think those of us that really get the satisfaction from it are those of us who value the art over the instant gratification of overnight sales, Yeah. Tell us a little bit about like the world that the sweep takes place in, because like I've read The Nightmare. Obviously, we published that, and I think that was our first edition.
That was the first.
Yeah, yep. That's still the most extreme and awesome thing we've published. So
I like that.
Kudos, you win. But like, yeah, tell us about this mad world of werewolves and gangsters and horrific violence.
It started with the Bite of the Wolf, which is what Books of Horror published, and it takes place in a very nearish future Edmonton. Like, I live in Edmonton, Alberta, and so I write about Edmonton because I don't know shit all about anything else. So I just it's a semi near future, semi. Shit got weird. I think one of the things I allude to in the sweep is actually the freak earthquake of 2027. So in 2 years, we're gonna have a freak earthquake, and then there's also gonna be werewolves and shit running around the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anything's possible with Trump in the White House,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like your stories aren't just like what's the term? Like urban fantasy like there's also like gangsters and like really horrific violence too. Like, tell us about that.
Um, well, I mean, it's life.
Yeah,
There's there's some really shitty humans, and they can make for a good inspiration to make a really terrible villain in a story.
it's true.
And yeah, it's that's really kind of I just when writing the Nightmare, for example, I just wanted to try to take my own ideas further, like
Mm.
take the violence. Okay, so this is going to happen violently. Okay, how can we make it worse but keep it real?
Mm.
And so I just kept pushing myself. And when I finished the first draft of Nightmare, I had to go for a walk to Tim Hortons. I had to grab a coffee and just fucking chill. Like I was,
Yeah, yeah. It's the kind of story you really need a commercial after. It's like, whoa, dude.
yeah.
I'm gonna go listen to some Tchaikovsky. Like what the fuck. So like obviously I'm a fantasy writer. I like to write about demons and stuff and monsters. So I'm not coming at this, but like how do you square that gritty horrific realism with the werewolf characters in The Sweep?
Um, I haven't figured out exactly.
Mm,
'Cause I know in my mind where the first werewolf comes from,
mm,
but I don't know. I'm still trying to write that so that it will bridge everything.
okay.
And it's, I think it's actually about the 1800s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it should be a winter horror, I think, once it's actually done.
Very cool. Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, yeah, that's cool to think about. I werewolves and like winter, they just go together, probably because of their nice fur coats. I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Blood
I know
and
I would
snow.
wear a fur coat if I had one.
Fuck yeah.
I live in Canada. It's always cold,
It's
even when it's
always
warm.
cold, even when it's warm. That's really cool to think about. I mean, personally, I don't see a conflict between werewolves and like human experimentation and like horrifying gangster stories because I mean, I think The Godfather would be vastly improved with a few werewolves, but that's just me personally.
Everything can be improved with werewolves.
Everything,
Werewolf
everything.
stories? Add more werewolves. Fuck, done.
I mean, I'm watching Wolf Cop over RoboCop any day of the week. No lie, it's a real
I've
movie and
yet
it's
to watch
amazing.
that.
It's
There's two wolf cops, right?
Are there? Oh, I didn't know that. I better watch
Oh,
the sequel if it exists.
okay. So I thought I heard of a second one, and I was like, oh fuck, I should really get on to watching the first one.
It's got a rap song, so that's nice. Yeah. RoboCop doesn't have a rap song.
No, no, but he does have a vicious death. Now you're making me want to go back and watch like old movies, man. I
Well, you
haven't
should
watched RoboCop in years, and like, oh,
you should
I
watch
had the
RoboCop every week, man. What are you talking about? It's part of your
I
rotation.
I used to have all the DVDs, and I don't know. There's a lot of people that don't know this, but there was actually a RoboCop TV show,
Filmed in
Canada,
Canada. Yep.
and it was fucking terrible. Like it was because it was more for kids. Whereas
Yeah.
I mean, RoboCop is not for kids.
No.
So, and I think they've actually made a differentiation, I should say, that the universe that RoboCop and the RoboCop TV series are actually different worlds. And I'm like, oh, well, okay, that makes sense.
We need to have the RoboCop multiverse. We need to have the reboot, the original one, the fucking TV show, and whatever the hell's going on in the third one, because that's not the same RoboCop. You know,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah,
there?
that would be fun.
There was a cartoon show too, wasn't there?
Yeah, and he was on WCW.
That's right, he was. He didn't do anything. He sucked.
Yeah, he just walked in and looked badass. But I mean, fucking
Wow.
RoboCop and wrestling.
I mean, RoboCop can't do much without his. They give him a bigger gun because he can't keep up with the other cops. So yeah, when the Hulkster throws him through a wall, I mean that's about it. Have you been watching the WWE stuff lately? By the way,
I've tuned into a couple things after they got onto Netflix,
yeah.
and I'm really liking the direction they're taking. Like the camera work is gorgeous.
Oh, it's
That
great.
black
Yeah.
mat on it, like the black canvas on the, yeah, that shit's gorgeous. But I'll be honest, I'm mostly actually an AEW fan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I haven't even watched for a long time because watching TV in Canada is expensive.
Really?
Yeah. If I want to watch, and also, I mean, I work. So while I'm working, AEW is on in the air. So I can't watch it live.
Right.
So they always have the replays are edited. So it's like, do I want to spend money to watch an edited replay? Eh, no.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it's not as exciting, is it?
No.
All right. Well, getting back on topic, I guess. I'll just sit and talk about wrestling because that's where I go these days because I can't handle the news or what's going on in the world. It's just I'm just gonna watch Rhea Ripley like beat up Liv Morgan or whatever because I can't handle it. But no, in all seriousness, can you tell us about your writing process? Like, what goes into your like when you sit down to write? What are you doing?
Well, if let's say I'm starting a brand new idea and it's just formulating, I'll just start just typing shit. Whatever comes out, comes out. And then when I'm done typing, then I'll reread it and be like, okay, well, this part is crap. This part is less crap. This part is good crap. And
Mm.
then I'll basically just filter that out, and then I'll write like a zero draft. I think some people call them, where it's
Mm.
like, this is my idea and this is my story beats. These are things that I want to do. Now let's just write the words in between.
Hmm.
I try doing it that way sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but there's been times when it's like something just starts falling out of my hands, and it's just like, oh, okay, well that's good, and then minor edits and whatever after that. Usually, that's not the case. It takes too
Right.
much.
Right. Do you find that sometimes the story starts writing itself at a certain point?
Yep.
Yeah.
And like you're going this way, and you're typing, and your character's like, yeah, cool story, bro. Fuck you, and he goes that way, and it's like, but what about this story? What's over here, guy? Come on, come back. And
Yeah.
you can't always do that. Like actually, the one story that I was working on a cryptid story that I actually specifically wanted to submit to an anthology,
Yeah.
and it just I would get to the point, and it's like, okay, well, this is not working for me. Okay, let's rewrite this. I still can't figure that one out, right? So I'm gonna be screwing with that forever. And
Yeah.
that's supposed to be a short story. That's supposed to be like 3,000, 5,000 words, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I tell people, don't, I've had people come to me about, like, my Demonland books, and I'm like, I didn't do it. I just write it. I have nothing to do with what happened. Like, leave me alone. I'm just the conduit, man. Yeah, no, I feel that. There are some people who, like, they know everything that goes into their story. There's other people who just work at it. They hack at it, and eventually it's done. And
Yeah.
that's, can't do much about that. So, yeah, that's cool. Do you have, so, when you have those creative slumps where you're stuck, I mean, like, how do you resolve that, if at all?
Um, I read other
Yeah.
stuff. I just go about my usual life, and I just keep it in the back burner. Or sometimes, if I'm slumping on something, I'll just open up a new document and just start typing something else.
Yeah.
Be like, okay, you don't want to cooperate today? Fuck yeah, I'm gonna go write this story, and then tomorrow that story will be like, well, no, I want to be written, and there you go. But yeah, creative slumps are, especially lately. I'm
Mm.
kind of, I think it's the post finishing the novella depression. Like you just kind of like, oh, I got all of that out of me. Now I got to like refill the words or something. Like I don't know.
I just threw up my dinner. You want me to throw up again? I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. I mean, writing is gross like that sometimes. I mean, So when you're looking to publish, because obviously you've published a few things, right? Like, what do you normally look for in a publication?
Well, for Death Wish, it showed up as an ad on my Instagram, and I'm like, they're not gonna accept this, and I sent it. And then you're like, I'm gonna accept this, and I was like, well, that was not fucking expected. But okay. And so that's actually like my first real main
Mm.
thing with you guys. Everything else I started putting onto my own Substack lately.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah, I've got 5 months since November, and I'm just slowly building up a little bit of back catalog there before I really start promoting it. So that way people have something to go and read. Um, I've got Drabble up there. I've got
Mm.
a couple
Yeah.
short, and I'm also reviewing music again.
Oh.
I used to do that like 2009, 2012. Uh, Reviewing music, interviewing bands, all that fun stuff. Photography, and then I just kind of stopped. Basically, the plague came and just put me entirely
Yeah.
on hold.
Yeah, COVID kind of killed a lot of things. I used to do open mic nights. There were all kinds of things in Philly that just never came back. I mean, we have a good drag show scene, I guess, but nothing for nothing for writers or anything. It's crazy. It destroyed everything. So I feel that in my bones. God damn. So I wanted to ask, you're a very talented poet, in addition
Like
to your raw, emotive prose, I mean, like, your poetry is lovely. That one, I can't remember what it was called, but, do you remember, do you know the title offhand?
Queen Goddess,
Queen Goddess, lovely piece, incredibly beautiful. When you write poetry, when you write prose, is there a different process?
very much. Yeah,
Yeah.
night and day, hot and cold, wet and dry. Like it's there. My brain sees them as different writing processes altogether, and it's kind of weird because like there's been times like I want to write a story, and then my brain is like, no, we're doing poetry today, and it's like, but what's a poem? How do I write a poem? And then it's like, oh, okay, so we can still do this. But yeah, it's a very even emotionally.
Hmm.
I'm in a different emotional headspace when I'm writing poetry because, well, Queen Goddess was angry and sad. Um, yeah. Uh,
Yeah.
there's one poem I wrote that I haven't published yet. I haven't even shopped it around yet. I want to try and actually get it into like
Hmm.
a print publication,
Yes.
as the subject matter is a lot happier, a lot better, a lot nicer. It's literally about um, smoking weed with my girlfriend on the front porch and then going upstairs and eating her out. Um, so,
I mean, that's pleasant. That's awesome. That's lovely. Yeah, I hope that finds publication.
thank you.
Seriously. That would be great. Yeah, I mean, considering like some of the stuff that gets published, I mean, I don't know if I mean, for a while, a lot of it was like, a lot of what was making the rounds was like trauma poetry, rape poetry, just really tough stuff to read. I remember a few years back, this one guy, he was like a poet laureate of something. I can't remember what his name was, but the poem he published that was making the rounds was Trayvon Martin's Autopsy as a poem, and I don't know, it just seemed like in bad taste to me. But yeah, I would love to see more human things making the rounds like that. I mean, yeah, smoking pot and then doing sexy times upstairs. I mean, fuck yeah, you know, that's great. That's a really nice like thought there. As a poem, like, oh, that was nice, that was cool, and not like in a gross Bukowski way where you know he wants you to feel bad that he just had sex with someone.
Yeah, no, I haven't read any of his stuff, and now I'm kind of wondering if I want to.
He's a great writer. A lot of it is just from the perspective of an old man who's kind of filthy, and
Maybe
yeah,
I could get into this. Yeah, no,
yeah,
I might be get into this. Yeah,
he's cool. I'm a big fan of Love Is a Dog from Hell. It's my favorite book from him. It's a book of poetry. Let's see. Oh yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about the sweep. I mean, tell us about the themes and tell me why you settled on werewolves for your motif, besides for werewolves being the best.
well, I'm glad you agree with me on that one.
Oh yeah.
So basically, 2022. Yeah, 2022 in the winter. Like it was. December, Edmonton police were breaking down homeless encampments in the city, making homeless people even more homeless. And that pissed me right off. And that I started writing the actual sweep, the breaking of a homeless camp. And then I realized that it could also still, because it was in a slightly near future Edmonton, I was like, I wonder, can I tie this into the Bite of the Wolf? Can I bring these together? And I did. And then I got into, I can't remember what paragraph it was. And I accidentally was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can bring the nightmare into this? I can make this a fucking thing? Then I just wrote that. And okay, let's tweak this sentence a little bit. And then I'm like, okay, so we have a whole universe now. Let's work this. And it, then it just turned into certain people turning out to be certain types of creatures and biting other people. And and then shit went down. And yeah.
I really like the scene where the wolf speaks. It's a very surreal moment, and it's in
the woods?
Yes, I liked that. I was like, ooh, did you mean for that to happen? Because I loved it,
Yeah, I saw it in my head as like a... Partly, the movie Annihilation?
Yes.
When they got that, bear thing screaming in the dude's voice?
It's yelling like, help me, right?
Yeah, it's fucking scary as shit. That was kind of part of what I saw. And I was like, ooh, let's... Because you got some weird critter that's bleeding and fucked up all over and suddenly, talk to you in English. It's like, oh, that's spooky.
Have you seen Antichrist?
No, I don't think so.
Well, don't watch it. It's a Lars von Trier movie, and it's the most horrific thing I've ever seen. But there comes a point where the horror and terror and awful shit has ratcheted up to such a high level. And the one character is out in the woods where she keeps going, and there's this fox that she sees every day. And the fox, it suddenly looks at her, and it just says, chaos reigns, and calmly walks away. And it's like, ah! It's... The fox speaking in and of itself isn't scary. It's the context, and it's just so upsetting,
Well, I mean, just seeing a fox every day and somebody that speaks to you, that would still spook you a little bit. It's like, whoa, dude, you're not supposed to know my language. I don't know yours.
Yeah, I mean, that's scarier than turning on the TV and seeing Alf. I mean, fuck, dude, a few things are as scary as that. That aside, so do you plan to make the nightmare? Do you plan to make the sweep into kind of a series of novels, of short novels?
I'm hoping to.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's one of the characters in it, June. I have an idea to get her own solo story. I kind of want to bring Craig and Parker back.
Okay, those two chuckle fucks.
Yeah, they're just a pair of pieces of shit that I think would just be. And actually, the racist cop. I want to bring the racist cop back because I want to punish him. Was that a kitty?
Yeah.
Did I just see a cat?
Yeah, it's Apollo. He just ran away. Yeah,
okay.
He loves me. He never goes away. He comes around and messes with my stuff. I can't do anything about it. He's a gremlin. It's out of my hands, so
Yeah, I got my editor-in-chief just sleeping just over there.
Yeah. It seems like everyone I interact with is a cat person, which is very good. Appreciate that.
They're like werewolves. They're the best.
They're like werewolves. They're the best. That's so funny. The idea of giving those two guys their own story or something. Didn't they get eaten? Didn't one of them get ripped apart?
They both die.
They both die. Yeah. I mean, there's a story in the Punisher comic where Wolverine's son kills the Punisher. He hacks him up, and then he gets brought back as Frankencastle, where he's the Punisher, but he's Frankenstein with robot parts.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and he's fighting Werewolf by Night and stuff, and I don't know. They gave it to some hack. I don't know anything about it. I just know that this happened, and it's on my read list. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
I want to read that now.
I know. Doesn't sound great. I'm actually reading a Morbius trade over there. Morbius does exist outside of that shitty movie. He's pretty cool. Take my word for it.
Okay.
That aside, so that's cool though. That's really interesting. What would have to happen for you to like keep writing these novels? Like, would you just do it regardless, or are you looking for at sales numbers?
No, I write because if I don't write, I die.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's the right answer. Like
Yeah,
my head buzzes and I have to write now because Void is talking to me. My character Void. Oh, fucked. All right, you got it, buddy.
yeah.
We're back.
And it's like it's now because I've gone through this stuff
Mm.
and learning how to self-publish and stuff. I can't not continue, right? Like if I keep writing, I I have to get it out there and get it's the needle in the vein, man.
Yes, sir. I mean, art is our salvation. It's what we do to remain sane. And honestly, I don't know if there's anything more potent. I know what I mean. Like, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in God or anything like that. Writing, making art, that's it. That's my sacrament. All right, so that's cool. So, what are some of your inspirations? What are some books you'd recommend?
Actually, I what because you sent me off a couple questions that you were thinking of asking me, and I was like, hey, well, books I want to recommend. How do I do this? I got a stack. Everybody loves their top 10 list, right? And then I realized, oh shit, I can't do a top 10. I got to do top 12. Um, so let's start with
That's awesome.
let's start with the book. This
Yes.
is so I'm 10 years old. I live on an acreage, um, just north of Edmonton, and there's this paperback on my mom's shelf. A couple paperbacks. This one catches my eye, and so I grab it and I go outside into the barn, into the hayloft, and I read The Langoliers, the first
Oh.
story in Four Past Midnight by Stephen King. And so, you know how a lot of people are like, oh, that kicked the door down or whatever. This story ripped the door out of the frame and took the frame with it. Like, I was addicted. Holy shit. So I'm 10 years old. My family's like, I don't know, should you be reading this? And then by the time I was 12, I was getting Stephen King novels for birthdays and Christmas. And no, that was a CD. I got a copy of Bush, Razor Blade Suitcase, their second album, for Easter.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. I'll take music for an Easter present. Fuck yeah,
It's better than Jesus eggs, right?
very much so.
Yeah.
And for one of my favorite books, my friend Pearl bought me this copy of it, meaning I now have 3 copies of Clive Barker's Magica.
Okay.
Okay, and it's I used to read that once a year
Really?
for a couple years
You know,
because it's just so many
it's
layers.
it's so many layers. It's so funny that you brought that book up because that's the one Barker book I haven't read. I've read.
Dude, you are doing yourself a disfavor with this. A disservice, I should say. You are. It is.
I read Cabal. I read the Hellbound Heart. I read the books. Well, several of the books of Blood, like the first 3, I think. Like I've read. I love him. I've read Mister Be Gone. Imagika. I just never got around to it.
It's. You know how there's the
Hmm.
like the 13-step hero's journey
Yeah.
or whatever, and then there's also the heroine's journey
Sure.
that's slightly different.
Yeah.
He's got both of them happening in here. He
That's
has 2
awesome.
main characters. One's a guy going on a hero's journey. One's a chick going on a heroine's journey, and then bam, comes in together at the end in the most beautiful. Like this is another one of those stories that can bring tears, can bring actual laughter,
Yeah.
and it's just I fucking love it. And then so yeah, I guess first I should say my first 6 that I'm showing you are the traditionally published big names.
Okay.
Um, and then China Miéville's Perdido Street Station.
Okay.
Um, I heard of this book through, I can't remember if it was Dungeon or Dragon magazine, but it was one of the Dungeons and Dragons magazines right before they stopped printing and
Oh
they went
wow.
digital. And they had turned some of China Miéville's uh, creatures and shit into playable Dungeons and Dragons monsters.
Oh really?
And I was just like, this is crazy. So I had to find this book.
Like the
And I
giant,
found the book.
like the giant moles from that one book where they
Yeah.
hunt them with trains or whatever. Yeah, he's a crazy writer. Yeah.
And it's just, I don't even know, man. Like it's dark fantasy, urban fantasy,
Yeah.
little touches of horror, and it was so different from everything else that I'd read when I read that I was like, okay, so this is fantastic. And then Neil Asher's The Skinner.
Oh, haven't heard of that one. Okay, cool.
Okay, this is hard sci-fi.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because there's I can't even really begin to explain all of the shit going on because it's so far away from us now in the future.
Yeah.
There's AI, but there's this planet that people are on, and it's you know how everything in Australia will kill you?
Yes.
Imagine living on two Australias at the same time, both land and sea. And then some of those things that want to kill you are actually fucking intelligent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a trilogy. It's part of the Spatter J trilogy,
Mm.
and it's hard sci-fi, a little bit of horror, and also just like fun shit, getting blown up, space battles.
Sure.
I mean, you know. Then the last two for the big names, the classics, Frankenstein and Dracula.
Can't beat him.
Right. Like, I mean, they're even people who are like, I don't really like reading the classics. Cool, great, but Dracula was written in a way at the time that people didn't write.
That's right.
Right? People. So that's cool to learn how to write an epistolary novel
Mm-hmm.
out of journal entries and letters.
Newspaper
Right?
clippings too. Yeah. Yeah. It's an incredible novel. It's groundbreaking.
And then Frankenstein. I mean, fucking Frankenstein, man.
It's Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yeah. And then for my six of the lesser known names.
Yeah.
First off, Steve Stredd, his Father of Lies trilogy.
Ooh, cool.
He's also an Edmonton writer.
Okay.
He's been nominated for the Splatterpunk Awards. I met him through a local bookseller during the plague, and we talked on Instagram a few times, and then we developed a friendship. And it was this Steve that told me to contact R.J. Rolls. He's the one who lit the fire under my ass. He put fresh logs on the coals that were there, and yeah. And then these two, this is why it turned into a top six.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't decide if I wanted to talk about the first book, Scratches by Joshua Marcella,
Cool.
or Severed by Joshua Marcella.
Right.
And Severed came out second, but it's a prequel. Takes place during the Vietnam War. Holy shit. Yeah, I thought Scratches was good by itself. And then once I read the prequel to it, it turned Scratches into a gut punch.
Damn.
It was amazing. Then one of my first really, really gory splatterpunk books is, and it's also full of like, well, actually, I'll just read this little section on the back.
Yes.
Warning. This book features X-rated depravity and sexual violence. It is not intended for sensitive readers. We're talking Magic by Dustin. And dude, it's short. Like it took me a half hour to read. It's 105 pages.
Wow.
And it's another one of those books that it helped push me to write The Nightmare.
Yeah.
And then almost finally, Vanilla by Mona Kabani.
Ooh, that's a lovely cover.
Yeah, right. And I think Mona did the art. And look at the frame around the text on the back and the front, like
It's beautiful.
gorgeous. And it's another one of those stories. Does this look like a horror novel? Not really.
No, no.
Does it look like vampires? It, yeah. It. But the thing is, it doesn't just subvert some of the horror tropes and vampire tropes, but it also says, "Fuck those tropes. I'm writing my own shit,"
Yeah.
and that's why I love Mona. And finally, this one I just read in January. Welcome to Meadowbrook. No,
Hmm.
sorry, February. Welcome to Meadowbrook by Cassandra L. Thompson. She does gothic horror,
Okay.
and she runs her own publishing company, Quill and Crow.
Hmm.
And so this was my first time reading Cassandra's work after following her on Instagram and threads and shit forever.
Hey, stop.
Dude, fuck yes. She's so good.
What's it called?
Welcome to Meadowbrook.
Okay. I'll write that
It's
down too. Yeah.
gothic horror with some like timey-wimey weird shit going on. So it's like it's not linear.
Stop it. He's chewing my desk. I'm so sorry. That's that. All those books are really cool, and I think it's fantastic that you grabbed a bunch of books like that. I wanted to ask you. This has nothing to do with the interview, but like, that anthology you were published in, is that the kind of thing that was just published on Amazon?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've been resistant to doing that kind of thing. I've had people ask me to do that with Death Wish, and I don't know how you feel about it, but it seems a little dishonest for me to be like, "Oh, we're gonna put out an anthology," and then it's like we put out a book on Amazon, and it's like, like in order for people to get their own copy, they have to buy their own copy, and they're not getting royalties. I don't know. What do you think about the ethics of that kind of thing?
That that's interesting. So for me, uh, this goes way back again, back to 2009
Yeah,
when
yeah,
I was doing interviews and stuff because I also ran a record label at the same time. And the way a lot of independent publishing, whether it's for music or books, works is basically like, hey, what we're going to do is we're going to publish your work. We're going to put this many copies out. We're going to give you this percentage of those copies for
mm,
you to sell. They're yours.
right,
And then whatever's left, we sell. And part of that profit we'll also give to you as a royalty.
right,
And then, so doing books via Amazon that way would still be like, for me, if I was gonna, let's say you and me are gonna put together a book. You
yeah,
and me just put one story together. I publish it on Amazon.
yeah,
I sell a copy, right? I would then just send half of that money to you,
right,
right? And but the same thing, like let's say we had 10 writers.
yeah.
We get $5 from Amazon. We send 50 cents to everybody.
Is that what happens with the anthology that you published with?
No, actually, that one is pure. Like that's just purely exposure, getting names out.
Yeah,
I was able to get my own copy,
you're right,
but
right.
I bought one.
You bought. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, like like that's the reality of what that is, and I just something about that feels dishonest. That's why, like, when I do the physical edition this year, it'll be done in an economical way, so I can at least give everyone a copy or two. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah. So okay, I just wanted to ask because I knew that you were in a book like that, and I really don't want to do something like that. I hate the whole exposure thing because like yeah, what we do with Death Wish is one thing. It's a digital magazine, whatever. But like once you're putting out a book and charging money for it, I don't know. It changes things. And like I've thought about starting like a publishing firm or company, but the logistics of it are tough to figure out and like unless I can get books in stores, it just seems dishonest because ultimately what am I going to be doing? Posting it to Draft to Digital and saying a Death Wish or Demonland Books book. I don't know. It just yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's easier, I think, to do that route as a solo act.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start doing a print anthology of other people, that one strikes me as, because there are a lot on Amazon. I bought them on Amazon. I love them. Like a lot of my book purchases lately are independent, published through Amazon because
Yeah,
that's just what I like. Um, you know,
yeah. I mean
and
it. I mean that's why I like doing it. I don't have to worry about an editor telling me, "Oh, this isn't marketable right now. Change the character to a woman or something." Like I can publish my fantasy epics and call it a day. You know.
like it right now where I'm at, if it's something where I'm writing it for me, and
Mm-hmm.
then an editor comes in and a publisher comes in and are interested in it.
Right.
Okay, well, you guys can edit these nuts. Okay, now my next book, which you're asking for, I will play your games. But this book that I started writing for myself,
Right.
it's my shit type of deal.
Gotcha.
Because I'm not famous. I'm fucking nobody. How many copies of my books have I sold? Which means I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I mean, if I get famous, yeah, I'll have to play the game. Or luckily, if I get lucky, I can change the game.
There you go. There you go. I mean, I figure most of us, it'll be a Lovecraft situation. We'll die, and people will discover our work, trying to make a name for themselves, and I don't know, we'll influence something or other. Who knows? I don't know. It's out of my hands. That's all I know. That was a great list of books, though, and I wrote down quite a few of those self-published books because, frankly, that's cool shit right there. You know?
Yeah, actually, I recommend anything from Mona. Actually, I recommend all of these books, but like Mona Kabani has a really interesting voice when she writes. Like she just has a very excellent way of putting words after words,
Mm.
right? No, it's actually even Cassandra. There's one line in here. I gotta find it. It's close to the beginning, I think, but it's she called something deliciously. Ah, Christ. Oh, here we go, right there. Discovering something so deliciously historical
Mm.
tugged at Matthew's creative mind.
Mm.
Like that, I actually took a picture. Like I pulled my phone out and I'm like, because something about that line just that's one. I'm gonna steal it somehow.
It's beautiful. Yeah. It'll inspire more work, and that's the best thing a book can do for you, really.
Yeah,
I say read a lot and write a lot because you know, garbage in, garbage out. But by the same token, virtuosity and well, at least decent work out, right?
yeah.
you know. Um, so that dovetails with my next question. I mean, do you have any heroes? I'm having a hard time finding living heroes, but who needs them, right? But do you have any?
Well, Steve King.
Okay,
I really like the fact that he started off as just some kid writing spooky shit,
it's true. Yeah.
and he's turned into an old man writing spooky shit with intent
Mm.
and a purpose. He's getting his own politics, which many of which I agree with, into his own works. Like he's showing himself being anti-fascist, not a dickhead.
Not a
I mean,
dickhead. Yeah.
how how many times has Stephen King been arrested? Zero, as far as I know.
I don't think he's been arrested. Yeah.
Yeah, like he's like the one guy in horror that we're all fairly certain we can still look to.
He's not a sex pervert, as far as we
Yeah,
know.
I mean,
I mean,
and if he is, he hasn't been caught yet, so good job.
I'm kind of mad at him for the Dark Tower series, but I don't know. I think everyone is. I mean,
But
did you like
I
that?
have
You like that last
seven,
book? You like that last book?
actually, sorry, eight hardcovers if you include Wind Through the Keyhole.
I didn't read that. I got better things to do with my life. Did you like that last book? You liked that? You thought that was cool?
I did because it took place between two other books, and it wasn't
No, not that. I don't care about that. No, I mean the actual final book, book 7.
Oh yeah,
You like that? You thought it worked?
yeah. Because if you actually, because I'm lucky in that I have uh an original Dark
Mm.
Tower Gunslinger. So if you read that
Yeah.
and then read through 7, and then you open up the newer modified Gunslinger, it makes more sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I have an original printing too. I love that first book. It's one of his best books. It's like 100 pages long. It's fucking to the point. It's brutal. It's violent, and his
Yeah.
world building is so efficient. I mean, yo, I'm surprised he doesn't write more fantasy, but
When he does, he fucking knocks it out of the park, man.
he's a very good writer. I did think Doctor Sleep was a little, you know, okay-ish. I mean, the movie I thought was better, but that's Mike Flanagan. I mean, that man doesn't do bad things, you know.
I don't think he can. No.
No, not Mike Flanagan. Midnight Mass is probably one of my favorite TV shows. I mean, it's
My neighbor showed me that, and like I went to her place every day to watch 1 or 2 episodes for a week there, and it was just like,
yeah,
wow, this is turning out cool. This is whoa, whoa, what is this?
it turns a
And it comes
corner.
in from left field and just fucks you in that like last 2 episodes.
It's incredible, and like yeah, as you know, I mean, I'm watching my country fall apart for Christian fascism, and people think it's unrealistic, and I'm like, no, no,
Oh,
people would rally around the weird vampire angel and let their town burn down. You know, like
yeah,
they would do that. They would do
yeah.
that. Yeah, so yeah, no. Stephen King, I think, is a very good candidate for hero. His own writing is right over there. I love that book. That's the only book on craft I refer to on a regular basis. You know, Strunk and White can suck it. I don't, I don't touch that. You know. Um, do you have any others?
Well, Steve Stred.
Yeah,
He's
You
yeah,
mentioned, yeah.
he's his work as well. Like I don't even know how many books that is. I have on my bookshelf. It's like a good foot and a half of just Steve Stred books. Here actually on that top shelf.
Yeah,
That's mostly a lot of Steve Stred and some other stuff.
cool.
There we go. But yeah, musically,
Hmm.
I used to have a lot more people I would look up to because music was where my heart was for the longest time. Like even when I stopped writing fiction, I started writing about music. So I
Right,
was still writing, but
right.
so like bands like My Dying Bride, Catatonia, Cannibal Corpse, can't go wrong with
Mm,
Cannibal Corpse. Um,
yeah,
and then well, the shirt I'm wearing, Fiat Productions.
yeah.
Be kind to animals. Listen to black metal. Uh, my friend Barry Ann runs this label, and she's anti-fascist, vegan, and there's something else about it. Oh God, that cat's adorable.
And he's very cute. He's
And
doggo.
her label is the same way. Like she puts out, black metal, dungeon synth, some death metal, just weird shit, and it's all on cassette.
Wow.
Yeah, she does put out vinyl and CDs, but everything's on cassette, and I love it.
Oh, talk about a niche. That's pretty cool. I love that. Um, yeah. Music is hard because like something about the industry is just so depraved. It's so riddled with drugs and just sexual exploitation that it's hard to get attached. I mean, I'm just at a point where I don't want to know about them. Like I don't want to hear it. You know, like we were just recording our episode about Sleep Token on Demon Toast and. Like one of my co-hosts is like, yeah, we made the right people famous, and I'm like, yeah, don't speak too soon, man. You know, I mean, thought Manson was on the up and up for the longest time. You know,
Yep, yeah. And now it's like, and I want to go listen to old Manson, and then I'm listening to it, and I'm just like, but
he's a hypocrite. Yeah,
God damn it, Brian, why you gotta do this to me?
it hurts. Yeah, no, I mean Manson
It,
was a big fucking deal to me growing up. You know,
yeah, like Mechanical Animals. it's almost still really fucking good.
And I was a hand grenade that never stopped exploding. Yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yes.
yeah. Incredible, incredible album. Yeah. Great Big
Yeah.
White World. Oh my god. Yeah, no. He's a brilliant poet. His newest album's pretty damn good too, but again, it's him shooting back at all the people accusing him of doing things, and it's like, but you did it. You know? Like,
But he wasn't it proven in a court of law that he was a dickhead?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, the one recanted, but that's because she couldn't handle his lawyers, and he settled out of court with Evan Rachel Wood. So I don't even. He has a new record deal, so whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, in America, if you have money, you can do whatever you want for the most part. You know.
I mean, your president proved that.
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of which, um, I mean, how did I word this? Let me take a look. Yeah, any thoughts on the weirdness our dipshit president is throwing at Canada?
Oh, dude, it's weird. It is weird because like
You guys have Canadian Trump supporters? Like that rapper, I forget what his fucking name is, but he's Canadian. Like, what the fuck is going on over there?
wow. I know there's like people in Alberta that are
Yeah.
like, let's become the 51st state, and I'm like, why don't instead hear me out. Instead of you forcing us to join America, why don't you move to America? Or instead of even moving to America, better yet, hang yourself.
It is not the opinion of Death Wish Poetry magazine that people in Alberta should, quote, hang themselves.
Yeah. Also same.
But yeah, no, it's pretty wild. No, you don't know who I'm talking about. That rapper, right? He had an embarrassing rap video that was like Daddy's Home, and he has Roseanne Barr shaking her grandma ass in the camera. Yeah, it's a weird fucking video.
Okay, I'm glad I don't know about this because
It's a
I
it's a rock worth living under. That's all I gotta say, man.
yeah,
Like,
fuck that noise.
yeah,
That's like
it's
what I think this year, Kid Rock, um, Nickelback, and what's that other shitty band that everybody loves?
I don't know. I don't listen to the radio.
It's like turning. It's like three absolute redneck
Imagine Imagine
doing.
Dragons or something. Oh, you said redneck. I don't know. I don't know. Zach Brown band. I don't know anything about them.
I don't know. But basically, like I saw the poster for it, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Nickelback and Kid Rock and that band there. Yeah, yeah.
Aren't Nickelback Canadian?
Shut the fuck up a little bit there, eh? Even worse, they're actually from Alberta.
Are you watching any good movies or TV shows right now?
Um, the last movie I watched was The Substance,
Mm-hmm.
and that movie was fucking great.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, again, it's one of those things like 'cause it's. I watched it with my neighbor, and I the whole time, like even just the first 20 minutes, half hour,
Yeah.
I would have given it an Academy Award just for cinematography and sound design alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was so good. And then I mean, throw in Demi Moore. I mean, she's okay. She's not like one of the best actresses in America or nothing.
Or anything. Yeah.
Um, throw her in there, and then that Margaret Qualley, I want to say her name is. She's the younger co-star.
Hmm.
She's fucking great.
She plays the young Demi Moore, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Demi
Yeah.
Moore. I always think about Indecent Proposal with her. Like, she's so gorgeous in that movie. She's so good.
Yep.
Incredible film. Yeah, The Substance probably better than Venom: Last Dance. I would say, right? Like,
I'm terrible with keeping up with popular culture.
is Venom even pop culture at this point? Like, it's just
I don't even
trash.
like the
I brought that up as a joke because I just watched it. I'm reviewing it for some website and it was pretty bad. I mean, Venom dances to disco in it. I mean, you might like that. I don't know.
I am vaguely interested in that scene now. To just like the context of like what the fuck is Venom doing dancing
I
to
don't.
anything?
I don't even. I really couldn't begin to tell you. It's so out of left field. It's like they ran out of material and they just did it. So yeah.
I have the Blu-ray of Possessor beside my bed. I just got to put it into the Xbox and watch it. It's David Cronenberg's son directed it.
Okay.
It'll be a sci-fi body horror.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I think I saw that. I'm not sure.
I can't even. Cause I honestly,
Oh no,
I,
I saw Crimes of the Future. I didn't see Possessor.
I basically kind of stopped watching TV and movies when I moved into this house, which would have been 2023, like March 2023.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Gotcha.
like almost 2 years.
Well, you're not missing much. I mean, there's some good stuff, obviously, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, the Bob Marley biopic.
Oh
I
yeah,
saw that in the theater actually,
yeah,
and that was pretty good.
that's cool.
I'm not the biggest Bob Marley fan, but the movie was cool.
You're a big fan of Stephen King. I saw The Monkey. The Monkey is really fucking good.
The Monkey.
Yeah, it's an adaptation of the short story.
When did they make that?
This year, my good sir, it just came out.
Well,
So, did you see Longlegs?
no, but I wanted to.
It's really good.
I was gonna go see it, but then it turned out the theater I was gonna go to is actually kind of like a roach infested bed bug hole in central Edmonton.
Okay.
And I was just like, I've had bed bugs at home before.
Yeah, we don't need.
I haven't had them in this house.
Yeah, we don't need
I
a
want to
rerun
keep
of
it
that.
way. I don't
Okay.
like that.
Did you watch The Blackcoat's Daughter?
Nope.
Did you watch Gretel and Hansel?
Nope.
Okay, these are all really good movies by the director of The Monkey. That's the only reason I asked about all of them.
Okay.
He's a really good director, very atmospheric, very, very thoughtful director. He's actually, his name's Oz Perkins. He's the son of Anthony Perkins, who was in Psycho. So, yeah. He makes... Anthony...
What? He had a kid?
He was gay, but he was married, so...
I was just gonna say, I
Yeah.
thought Anthony Perkins was really gay.
He was really gay. And The Monkey is actually about Osgood's relationship with his father, which, as you can imagine, wasn't very good because he didn't want to be married to a woman. So The Monkey's really fucking good. It's about a cursed monkey doll that, you turn the key and see what happens. Organ grinder monkey, just like life, as it says on his box in the movie. It's really good. It's about paternal trauma. It's got a nasty Sam Raimi-esque sense of humor. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's kind of like a trauma movie with some of the gore. I'm kind of amazed they threw a budget at this movie. All of the human interactions aren't that great, but the movie is really good. And yeah, I think you'll really like it. It feels like an old-timey Stephen King thing. It's not like those fucking big-budget It movies they made 5 years ago or something,
Which I did like those movies, but at the same time, it's kind of like
Yeah.
actually even more than the movies for the It movies was the kids starring in them. I was so happy to see that these kids were getting famous and getting more work and stuff. Because shit, man,
Yeah, they were pretty
if
good.
they're that good as a fucking 15-year-old,
Yeah. Yeah.
imagine Finn Wolfhard?
Finn Wolfhard, yeah.
When he's 30, that motherfucker's gonna have a lineup of Oscars.
You're right. Yeah, no, seriously. Yeah, I mean, he's no Jake Lloyd. I'll give him that, But yeah, no. My point is that with a lot of Stephen King movies, they throw the massive budget at it, and it's you get the CGI monsters and all that stuff, and the fucking obnoxious soundtrack and all that, and it's just too much. The Monkey was nice because it was scaled back, and you're adapting a Stephen King short story, so yeah, I definitely recommend that. I mean, it's it's really good. I don't know if it's still in theaters. It may have moved to digital, but look into it.
That also means moving to Blu-ray. I don't. If I'm gonna buy, I buy things. I like physical things.
Yeah.
I don't like digital. A huge chunk of my music is now digital through Bandcamp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which means the band or the label is still making money.
Right.
But I don't hold as much.
Right. I do want to say, I was reading the other day that a bunch of Warner Brothers DVDs are no longer playable because of the way they there's some kind of like laser rot they call it that's killing them. I don't know. Look,
Oh,
yeah, look into that. It's kind of upsetting for people that are really into physical media. I have a drive where I just throw my stuff. Even if I have it on DVD, I just rip it off and throw it on the drive because I don't trust anything anymore. It all breaks, you know. My drive will probably break too, and the joke will be on me.
School of Rock DVD didn't work.
Yeah, is that a Warner Brothers movie? It might be. They got
Might be.
they got cheap apparently for like a period of 10 years, so
That is fucking lame.
it's pretty bad.
Like, if you're gonna put out a product, put it out that it works.
Well,
Cybertruck.
yeah, right. You're asking for too much now, man. Hey, they reached their sales quotas. Those shareholders made their billions. They're good, you know. They did their job. Well, all right. So to wrap up, where can we find more of your work? You know, is it all just published all over? Do you have a website? Do you have an Instagram?
I have
Substack?
the Instagram, Threads, and even though I don't use it, Blue Sky.
Mm,
They're all at Dustin Ekman Writes.
there you go.
And then my Substack. Oh, he's grabbing the notebook.
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay, the Substack is Hermit Rites. So it's RITES, like a ritual. So it's hermitrites.substack.com. And every month on the 1st, there's a new Hermit Rites. And yeah, that's basically mostly all. And at Death Wish, that's basically the only places that I can be found right now.
Right now.
And I'm hoping by the end of 2025 to be all over the place.
Okay. Are you planning to launch a website to keep, just to direct people as a portal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does sound like Substack is a pretty good platform for that kind of thing, though, too.
It is.
Like
and that's why I'm really slow on the website, because Substack is like,
yeah,
it's a cool website and social media. It's not one or the other. They've been able to blend the two.
Interesting. Yeah, because I mean, like, I do run like a website for my Demonland books, but like, it's literally just a thing. Like, I don't know. I should look into a Substack, but okay, those are links I'll make sure are at the bottom of this when I upload it. So cool,
Excellent.
Cool. All right, well, Dustin, honestly, do you have anything else you want to talk about before we get? Do you have any words of wisdom you want to offer people?
Read shit.
Yeah, fucking read shit.
Yeah, just go. What are you doing watching this shit? We're finishing off the conversation. Close the window and go read a book.
Go read some of those fucking books that Dustin fucking listed earlier. Like,
yeah.
Don't listen to us. We're frauds. We don't know what we're talking about. Well, thanks. You've been awesome. This was great, and I'm looking forward to reading the sweep. It's gonna be fucking great. When's it releasing?
April 18th.
The 18th. Okay.
Which is coincidentally my 40th birthday.
Oh, there you go.
So that's why I chose the 18th. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be a narcissist and celebrate my birthday this way.
Yeah, I mean, when he turned 40, Alan Moore announced to his friends that he was now a chaos magician. I think releasing a novel is equivalent.
Yeah, okay.
So there you go. So, yeah, write poetry, make art, Ave Satanis, love your demons. Thanks so much for watching that. Our writers are the lifeblood of what we do here, and I really hope that something, inspired you from what they said, because they've all been very insightful and fascinating in their own way. Listen, we do take submissions. We are quarterly, and if you want to know when our physical edition is coming out or when our digital edition is open for submissions, please check us out on Instagram, link below, or go to our website. We're usually pretty loud about it. Also, if you want to support us, if you join our Patreon at the $1, level, or any level really, I will personally send you one of these really cool stickers. And they're pretty big. They're pretty high quality. So, put them on your car, put them on your back, put them on your wall. I don't know. Put them somewhere. Or head over to Great Satan's Emporium and buy a super cool mug or a t-shirt. And, support us. It helps to support independent art. And, well, stay tuned for what comes next. Most likely more interviews and always more Demon Toast episodes and episodes of Monster Fangs as well. So, Ave Satanis.